What is the city you love to visit? New Orleans. For the food, Edinburgh, Scotland. Rome, Italy. New York City, Vienna. San Francisco, London. Amsterdam. Gary, Indiana, because if I'm visiting, it implies I don't live there. Chicago. It's home and I no longer live there, so being back just puts me at ease knowing I'm back home. Plus great food, sights, things to do, see, experience. Atlanta. Love the airport. London. Wifey loves it too. Portland, Maine. There's a restaurant with a lobster mac and cheese that's otherworldly and the harbor is very pretty. San Diego, NYC, New Orleans. Paris, also Coos Bay or Portland. Savannah, Georgia. Breckenridge for the nature. Colorado Springs. Fort Lauderdale, mostly because it means I'm getting on a cruise. Branson, Missouri. Sendai, Japan. The largest city in Tohoku, Northeast Japan. With amazing restaurants, social life, cafes, etc. Pretty easy for me to get to from my smaller city. 2. Rome, Italy. Seoul. Amazing food. Friendly people. Feels like the future sometimes. Also beautiful mountains that are visible from many parts of the city. Also form the right spots. The Han River is just gorgeous. It's also very nostalgic for me, so I'm definitely biased. Lake Charles, Louisiana and Port Arthur. TX. Lake Charles because they have the best seafood. Port Arthur because depending on where you are and where you stay, it is very calm. The food is also really good as well. Melbourne, Australia. St. Augustine, Florida. Paris. Barcelona. New York. Mexico City. Rio de Janeiro. São Paulo. Tokyo. Madrid. Chicago. Belo Horizonte. Guadalajara. Lyon. Nagoya. Osaka. London. Been all over the world, but London just feels like home. Funky town. Didn't say it had to be real. Brussels. Belgium. For one specific reason. Mannequin Pies is a statue just a 5-minute walk away from the country's capital. It depicts a little boy peeing. It is dressed up in tiny, funny clothes every half-month or so. And they have had to make countless replicas because people keep stealing the pissing boy statue. It's too funny not to see. Boston. Portland, Oregon. So much good for all packed in one city. Quebec. For the maple leaf. Tallinn, Estonia. I regularly visit the city of Asheville, North Carolina. It's such a lovely tiny quaint town with all the workings of a city but none of the city-ness, if that makes any sense. I generally hate the South because of the culture and politics. But Asheville is such a open and safe place to be. It's tucked away in the mountains with lots and lots of nature and a whole hippie community. I love it and visit it every year. In France, Strasbourg. Incredibly beautiful architecture and no cars. Friendly people and super relaxing atmosphere. My favorite place. Fuck all those crowded cities that are overrun with tourists where the subway is so full that you can't even scratch your head. RHCP in Stade de France was amazing though. In Italy. Any place in Sardinia so far lol. In the Netherlands. Middelburg. Amsterdam is great though compared to other big cities. In Spain. Playa d'Aro, even though it's technically not a city, I think. In Barcelona, so many of my friends got some of their shit stolen. In England. York for sure. London is cool but York really enchanted me. In Germany. It's kinda tough because every place kinda feels similar. Probably because of the atmosphere. If I'd have to pick, I'd say Dresden. way cheaper, and the architectural contrast between Neustadt and Altstadt is fascinating. Still have to go and visit Freiburg though before I can make a final call on that one. Berlin. Honestly, I just wanna go to Germany. Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam. Great city of east meeting west. Formerly colonized by French, so lots of old trees lining the street. Great Vietnamese cuisine and also Chinese food in the Cholan district. Lots of cafes and temples all around. Teeming with history. Washington, D.C. Okay, honestly, Seattle. I know plenty of people from the area that hate it because of traffic or the homeless. Which to me is stupid because first of all just go with friends. Listen to music or take a train, and second they're just trying to mind their business. Anyways, it's got amazing food. I mean, I would literally die for it. Cool art. Lots of the buildings are gorgeous. The ocean view is magnificent. I honestly love so many things about it because there are so many things to do. Lima, Peru. Helsinki, Finland. Tokyo, Japan. Just to see if it's that big of a culture shock for a Western European. As advertised. Either Stockholm, Oslo or Helsinki. In due course all three. I've heard many people say they loved the atmosphere in Scandinavian, Nordic countries, and it's not even that far from it. Also no Copenhagen. I didn't forget about you. I just already went and it was great. I have a weird obsession with less tourism crowded countries in Europe. I would love to visit a bunch of Balkan countries and their cities. The Baltics are high on my to-visit list, and if you count them as being almost European. Baku or Tbilisi seems like a fun holiday to take. If I were to visit the US, I would probably only stay in the popular cities like NY or LA for a couple of days. But from a tourism point of view, I'd prefer to stay longer in cities in Oregon or Colorado for example. Lastly, Ushuaia in Tierra del Fuego. Just to see if it's really the end of the world, and because from what I've seen on it, it's gorgeous.